Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I am going to do the October the 29th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. How are you doing out there? I hope you're doing well. It's good to be with you. The title of the meditation, let's see, Integrity Through Personal Responsibility. Sounds interesting. Everyone makes mistakes. Promptly admitting when we are wrong shows integrity and responsibility for our actions. Now, that comes from the Living Clean book, chapter 6, work. Perception is a funny thing. Self-centeredness shapes the way we experience our lives, magnifying our own wants and minimizing our responsibility and accountability. It can be like walking through a carnival funhouse filled with distorted mirrors or echo chambers. Our senses deceive us. We have a hard time perceiving reality for what it is, especially when it comes to responsibility for our lives and our actions. Checking our perspective with other addicts helps. Working the program, especially the daily inventory of step 10, helps us make our way through the funhouse of personal responsibility. As we come to terms with our powerlessness and unmanageability, we blame others less for the wreckage of our past. We begin taking personal responsibility. As we take inventory and ask for help letting go of our defects and shortcomings, we lose the need to make excuses for current actions and choices. We take responsibility for making past wrongs right, and we make a practice of checking our perceptions regularly. We shift our senses away from the carnival distortions and get a better perspective on ourselves and our lives. The steps helps us get better and better at being the type of people we can be proud of being. When we make a wrong turn on our way through the funhouse and find a dead end, it doesn't do us much good to pretend we're not lost. We ask for a direction and we backtrack if we have to. We make mistakes because we are human. We correct them because we have integrity. My disease distorts my view of myself and the world around me. I will use regular inventory to adjust my skewed perceptions so that I can find my way out of the madhouse of addiction. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This is a enjoyable, I'll say an enjoyable meditation, just reading it and talking about integrity and personal responsibility. I believe that that's true, that everyone makes mistakes, but promptly admitting when we are wrong shows a level of integrity and responsibility for our wrongs. So, what we're talking about is that step 10 inventory that I mentioned earlier in the Just for Today. When we take an inventory, we're able to look back on our day and see how it went and what changes do we need to make, and maybe what amends we need to make to individuals, and we're willing to do it promptly. There's nothing worse if I have to go back in time and just think about the times that I've called myself being the most offended and waiting for the person that obviously I cared about. I loved them. I thought they were my friends. Waiting for almost with bated breath, right? Waiting for them to acknowledge the wrong that they did. That is a long wait. That's a long wait. And it's generally because my feelings are on my sleeves and I can be hurt rather easily. And especially back then, getting high, oh my goodness, everything was an issue. And a lot of times people act They act so quickly. They're not really thinking about what they're saying and what they're doing, and definitely not thinking that what they're about to say or do is going to rub someone that they're so close with the wrong way. They have all of this faith in our friendship that I'm not going to just break ways with them over simple things. They really believe, that I can handle almost anything. This friendship, they almost take it for granted that I can't be offended. And then when I am, unless I tell them about it, they generally don't even know about it. And that's a long wait, waiting for someone to come to the realization that they've done something to harm you. And then, how about this part? This, because I'm talking about responsibility and accountability. I'm talking about having the level of integrity it takes to admit you're wrong to someone that you have a relationship with. Sometimes, even when they find out, they think it's so ridiculous that we could be so close and I could be so offended or so hurt by something. It's almost like they mute me or dismiss it. Like, are you serious? As close as we are, as tight as we are, you have the nerve to be upset about that? Have you ever had that happen to you? I know I have. I know I have. I've had people dismiss the fact that I call myself being offended or hurt, and never even say, I am so sorry I didn't know about that. I didn't know that that hurt you. I had no clue. I thought we were cooler than that. I didn't think that you would be upset by something like that, but I see that you are, and I'm sorry. Not even say that. It's an awful feeling. And I'm sure that you can have your own experience that you can go back to and think about that. Just waiting for someone to acknowledge the wrong that they've done can be a very long, lonely wait. Now, with that point being made, who do I owe? Just go back over the day. For those people that are new to the fellowship, when we're talking about step 10, we're talking about just going back over the day. Your journaling over the day, thinking about your actions, those things that you feel good about, those things that you feel bad about, those possible situations where you might have said something that was offensive. Sometimes we do it intentionally. You think we ever go back and say, I'm sorry for that? Most of us probably not, because we think people should be better than that, bigger than that, more adjusted than that to be offended by certain terminology and certain, actions. And we take people for granted, basically. Well, today, let's do something different. Let's do exactly what this meditation is talking about. Have integrity through personal responsibility. Actually doing a step 10 and actually being willing to list those things in that step 10 that we know we need to correct, not just the things that are great about our day, but some of the things that we actually did that we know wasn't so great. And making those phone calls or reaching out to those individuals and letting them know, you know what? This is just an example, right? But reaching out to them and saying, you know what? Something about our conversation yesterday or earlier really bothered me. I came away feeling like I might have hurt your feelings. And so I just wanted to double back, circle back to you and see if when I said or when I did such and such, if that rubbed you the wrong way or bothered you at all, because you're my friend and I would never intentionally try to harm you. And let them take the floor. Let them say whatever they want to say. They might say, girl, please. That didn't bother me. Or man, please, that didn't bother me. No, they might even lie, but they also might say, yeah, that was a lot of shade you threw at me, and that did bother me. I couldn't figure out why you would even say something like that. And then be a man or woman enough to say, you know what, I kind of thought that probably didn't go over well. And so I just want to let you know I love you and I would never intentionally try to hurt you. Can you forgive me? And listen to what they say. We grow up in this program. I know Mighty Stream makes it sound like it's so easy, right? I guess, for me, when I'm a person that is always analyzing my words and words of others and thinking about words and what they really mean and stuff like that, I kind of get used to circling back. Get used to circling back. It takes Mighty Stream to put the wrong word with the wrong, in the wrong context and offend people. Trying to be cool sometimes, but I don't mind. I really don't mind circling back and letting people know, that was not intentional. Forgive me. Makes me feel good to be able to do that. Yeah, I think it's because it is integral. It is integral to be able to do that. It is different for me to assume personal responsibility for my actions, for my words, the way that I come across. Even when people look at you and you say something and their face changes, you don't know how it's hitting their spirit. It may not be, it may not be bad at all. And I'm not suggesting that we go around walking on eggshells. I'm not. But I'm just saying sometimes you can see people's response to you on their face. What's wrong with going up to them and saying, I noticed your face changed when I said that. What was that about? I'm curious. What was that about? And let them take the floor. If nothing else, it's a good conversation builder. And it lets people know that you are not just going through life haphazardly, saying and doing things without any consideration of others. You're a very mindful individual. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. Today, I want for you to go through your day with it in mind that your perception is not the only perception about how you handle things. Take the bull by the horns and take charge today with integrity and being responsible for the things that you do. Apply step 10 in your life. Have a beautiful day on purpose because I most certainly intend to do so. Talk to you tomorrow.